Hi guys, I'm going to teach you guys the last thing you need to know for factoring. We are going to be on page 13 and we're going to be talking about finding the zeros. And so a lot of the steps are not new. We're just going to add a step to the end of the problem. So for finding the zeros, we are going to be making sure that we follow these steps in this box right here. And we're going to do our first step is make sure we set the equation equal to 0. Then factor, then set each factor equal to 0. So here's a worked out example, but let's just jump in right here. I'm going to change these numbers though, so please change yours as well. I'm going to do x plus 2 and x minus 5. Alrighty, so we're just not ready for that type of problem that is right there, but I'm just going to jump into an example to explain this to you. And so you want to follow these few steps. We want to set our equation equal to 0. So let me set that one to equal to 0 right there. And I'm actually going to erase this and just give myself more room. So you can keep yours where it is, x plus 2, x minus 5. And I am going to make sure I set it equal to 0. And then I'm going to factor. Now notice this is already in factored form. I'm not going to do any factoring with this. There's no boxes that need to be made or anything like that. So that is already in its factored form. And so I've done this. Now I'm going to set each factor equal to 0, x plus 2 equal to 0, and x minus 5 equal to 0, and solve. When we are solving, we want to get the variable or the letter by itself. So x plus 2 equals 0. I need to get x by itself. So I need to do the opposite of addition because I have x plus 2. To undo that addition, I need to do the opposite. So the opposite of positive 2 is subtract 2. And what I do to one side, I have to do to both sides. So I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. So I'm going to have x equals 0 minus 2, which is negative 2. X equals 0 minus 2. In my calculator, 0 minus 2 is negative 2. And then I have x minus 5. And I need to do the opposite of minus 5, which is add 5. And what I do to one side, I need to do to the other. So I have x by itself now is equal to 0 plus 5, which is 5. So those are my two answers. When it says solve for the zeros, that means, hey, solve each factor and set them equal to 0. So these are my zeros, x equals negative 2 and x equals 5. Okay, that is an easier, see, I just made an extra step at the end, but these questions do get a little bit longer, but they're not hard. We've still been doing the same thing in class. This problem, so for problem number 2, for an example, let's just start with the 3 steps. Set the equation equal to 0, that's what we did, and then factor. So we did this. We haven't factored yet, though. This is not in factored form. Remember, factored form is x plus or minus a number, and we have 2 binomials being multiplied by each other. So we need to factor this. And the factoring is not the new part. Factoring is not the new part. I need to factor this. Everything is positive. So I'm going to put the x squared in this box. I'm going to put the 15 in this box. And I want to find the 2 numbers that multiply to give me 15, that add to give me 8x, right? Well, you know how to do this. This is target C day 1 and 2. Everything is positive. So the factors of 15 that add to 8, you should have your factor chart, but I know that that's going to be 3 and 5. 3x and 5x will give me 8x. These go in my box. I'm going through this part a little quickly because we know that this part is not new. And then I need to fill out the top and the side of my box. So you know that what's going to go here and here is going to be x and x. That always happens. X times x will give me x squared. I want to find the number here so that when I multiply it by x, I get 3x. So I am missing the 3. And I want to put the number here. That'll give me 5x. So I'm missing the number. So I'm going to put 5 there. Again, that's not new. And then you're going to write your answer. My answer to this is x plus 3 and x plus 5. Everything was positive, so I didn't need to mess with any different scenarios. Alrighty, then I'm just going to do the opposite. So I need to set these equal to 0. X plus 3 equals 0. X plus 5 equals 0. And I'm going to get cut off, so please watch the next video for the answer to this and then another problem.